How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be talking about The Nice House on the Lake, book number 9. This is, of course, written by James Tynion IV with art by Alvaro Martinez Bueno, and this is the halfway point of the second volume, or the 75% way overall, and this one features the acupuncturist as our main character. And overall, it's good to see him as the lead. He's a really nice guy, and I really did like to see more of his story and get to know him a little better. However, this is later on in the book, so overarching plot elements are starting to take over. We do get to see a lot of the Ryan-Nora storyline with their increasing plan to defeat Walter, which is pretty interesting. The acupuncturist storyline, you get to see him going into his new acupuncture shop and getting, things that he's always wanted, and it's like a perfect little room for him. But there is a reveal later, which I won't spoil, but that is a pretty interesting thing that came from it. Overall, it's a cool story, a cool issue, good character study as always, but I am kind of wondering, this book is moving a little slowly, which I don't mind. Take your time, get the characters down, do what you need to do. The only thing is, this is number 9 of only 12, and we know from the fast forward sections at the beginning that things are gonna go pretty nuts, so I'm wondering if things are gonna just like pop off right at the end there, if things are gonna go absolutely crazy, and if they do, the end looks like a really big epic finale. I'm just hoping it doesn't get rushed and that the ending bit has time to breathe as well, but that'll be something we see in further issues. Overall, though, another consistently good issue of this comic, and yeah, pretty fun. Without further ado, let's switch to the close-up camera and take a closer look at this issue. I'm going to show you guys a bit of the art and talk about the story in more specifics. No major spoilers, but I do want to analyze the plot a little bit. So, without further ado, to the close-up camera. Alright, here we are in the castle taking a look at Nice House on the Lake, book number 9. So let's begin by showing you guys this really cool cover. You get the acupuncturist Arturo there, and he is in his little spa, but it is full of blood. So a pretty dark and creepy cover. This, these Nice House on the Lake covers are always just a little bit unsettling, and I definitely have to say that does continue to hold true with this one. And the acupuncture suite that he gets is featured in this book, and I wonder if this is supposed to be part of that. I'm not sure. I think probably. Anyway, then we get the title and the lit up symbol. This one is the second to last, but keep in mind we have 3 more issues to go. So we have the Doctor, but then we have to get to Nora as well, and then that 12th issue, I'm guessing it's going to be Walter, or maybe we'll jump back to Ryan. I don't know. But acupuncturist, we can flip it to our handy-dandy chart. I really do love this thing, and we can see his name is Arturo Perez, and the next one is going to be the Doctor here. Anyway, let's go ahead and open this thing up and take a little bit of a look at the plot. Again, no major spoilers, but we open up to the red future, and we get to see Arturo there, and he is breaking up bread and feeding it to these mice, and he's talking about how he didn't really know Walter. Sam knew Walter, and he was trying to preserve the relationship because Sam doesn't really have too many friends, which I thought was pretty interesting, and I didn't really think of it until now, but yeah, your partner knew this guy, so you're a little bit out of the loop. It's, another friend group. And then we get the flashback that we always get, and we see they're back in New York, and they're waiting for Walter, and Sam's getting a little bit impatient when he finally does show up, and he says that he was at the gallery with Ryan. So, once again, she's being brought up again. You know, she's the book's main character. I really am glad we're focusing on her, you know. But one thing interesting is Arturo there ask about, is this a romantic thing? And he says, oh, no, there's maybe a hint of that, but no, not really. So, yeah, I'm guessing he, at this point in time, is 100% out as bi. And then we jump back to the future, and we see that Arturo was inside a pool there, and we see the rats had previously eaten what is either a horse or a donkey or something, which, yeah, I'm kind of wondering, you know, were there any animals? I thought there was no animals in here, so I'm guessing they got in when maybe in the future the force field opens or something. I don't know. But yeah, dead animal in their dried up pool, so I really am wondering what's happening here. But yeah, it talks about how Walter was using the fact that he knew who Sam really was, you know, because nowadays Sam is, you know, got kind of a public persona, and he's like, I know the real you, and is kind of using that as power over him. And then we jump into the comic proper, and we get this really nice page where Ryan is against the fogged up glass, and Nora on the other side is writing him a message. Walter is not human. The world has been destroyed. He has taken your memories. Don't trust him. A really cool panel, you know. I like that they did the whole frost effect thing, and this is where we're going to see her and what she's doing. I'm going to skip forward a little bit, jump to another relevant page, but we see that she later on brings these 2 kettles, and she's using that to apply additional steam, you know, which is a great way of keeping it going. And we get this longer message about how, I don't know if you remember me, I used to be your roommate, Walter, the world outside is destroyed, we have to fight back. So yeah, a pretty big, you know, double page spread, and we're going to see what exactly her plans are for fighting back. But anyway, jumping to the rest of the cast, there's the credits page, by the way. I'm wondering if this is changing in subtle ways, because I think it's a little lighter. Maybe the sun's rising. I don't know. But anyway, we get the comedian there, and he's saying, hey, build my building, but he has to draw these specs very precise, so we're not going to flood the lake with a bunch of buildings right away, because it's going to take Reggie time to draw all this stuff. So I'm glad that they're not just going to litter up the lake, you know. So he tells the comedian it will be a month, but then they all go to see their new buildings, and we do get a nice shot of the observatory. Really weird looking building there, and they talk about how, you know, it's going to be a pain in the butt to get all the stuff up to it, and, you know, they wanted it to have like a treehouse feel, so, you know, you get a little bit of character with them talking about the new place, but we don't get to see too much of the observatory because this is Arturo's book, and we're going to focus on his acupuncture place. And he says, as a reward, Reggie, you'll be the first one that I give a session to. And he even opens up this drawer, and he sees, like, wow, these are fine Japanese needles I always wanted in average everyday life, but I was never able to afford them, and he gets them here. However, there will be a dark twist that Reggie and Arturo eventually find. Well, kind of a dark twist. It's an interesting reveal, but we are seeing, you know, Walter's little world start to crumble with what they find out here. We also get a page with the doctor, and she's talking about how she feels kind of useless because she can't do her practice here. You know, she's basically cooking, and she's like, I am much better than this. I should be out helping people, but simply no one needs me here. So I do like they're setting up with, I believe she's going to be the next character we follow. And the last thing I'll show you guys, I don't want to go any further than this, but Walter and Nora are fighting. And Nora says, you know, you want my advice, you want my help, but you won't let me in any farther. You know, you won't let me see the bigger picture. You won't let me help you out. How can I help you out if you're keeping me on such a leash? So she is trying to manipulate him, and there we see Walter yelling at Nora there, and he gets all scary looking. That's not his normal scary face, that's more fiery, it's pretty creepy. But what this conversation leads to will ultimately lead to Nora and, in turn, Ryan's plan, and they're setting up a whole lot for issue number 10 here. So granted, what I said about how things are definitely going to go crazy from the prologue, where all the fire futures, I'm like, okay, book 10, it might be the last normal issue. They may set off an uncontrollable chain of events. This book may catch fire towards the end, and that's going to be pretty interesting to see. Overall, I really did like it. Being later in the book, we did get a little less with Arturo because we are focusing on the main plot, but he's a nice guy, and I really like to see, you know, him getting his dream salon there, so that was really fun, and it does look to be building up to a pretty big finale, so I really did like it. Anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my Nice House on the Lake playlist. If you want to see me talk about the past issues of the series, you can find those videos there. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Nice House on the Lake playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.